this is what we'll be making today. We'll have at the top there a region name and the population. And if you hover over something, as you can see, it updates. I made a map folder. So what we'll be actually doing for the data is we'll have a data table and a structure. And in the data table, we'll have the region name, the element index, and then the population. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to essentially take the element index. If we're hovered above the element index, we'll essentially use the element index as like a form of identification, which I believe this does mean that you can, if you want to have like a big scale map, you'd have to do it all in one mesh. Obviously you can have spaces in between them, but let's say you want to have like a world map, you'd have to have them in all one big mesh, which might not be ideal, but if you're doing smaller work, it could work. I'm not saying it's impossible for bigger meshes, but I'm just saying it's harder. Right, so let's go into data 2, or any data thing you want. Then I will be using which is the first one, the structure, so I believe that's in here, blueprint. We'll call this as data tutorial, and then so essentially what we need is we need a text, and this will be the region name. Let's call it province. And then essentially what you need to do now is just have an integer, call this element, and then you can essentially have whatever you want. So let's say you want like an integer of not integer, this one is population, and let's say you want like coal or gold. Now you can also put this here, and you can essentially store it here. I won't be doing any of this. I'll just be doing the element of population in the province. I can just close this. Gotta go to miscellaneous. Then it's somewhere here. Data table. Then we take the data tutorial. Then in here we have we just make a new row. Since I have 5 elements, I will be making 5. Then to know which element is which, because you can look at the map, you won't see the map here, but you look at the map, but it won't really say much for you. So you can just go to the static mesh, and then here you can actually see your element, and then you can just highlight it. So this will be element 0. You can go here, and then element 0. Population, it looks pretty big, so I guess a population of 150,000 or 15,000, yeah. Actually, here, 150,000. And province would be named whatever you want to name, so I'll call this province big. And then element 1 would be just the small part, so I'll call this province small. Element 1, population, well, let's give this only 1,000. And then this, I'll just make sure this is all there we go. And then I'll just add some jargon, so I'll call this coal province, population of 21, yeah, 21. Cat province, whatever. 12. and then dog province. Just making random names at this point, but it's mostly just to see. Now, and this is eventually the blueprint, so I'll just delete all of this, but I'll show you actually what it does if you don't want to, if you just want to copy it, I'll show you just what it does. So we have a variable named data table, which essentially is just a data table row handle type. So to make this is just to delete this, and then it's essentially just data table equals to. It's essentially just a type in data table. It's row handle, and then you can just go in here and compose real quick, and then data table would be this one. Then you want to get it, and then you plug it into a break. But before I actually do this, I'll just delete all of this. Now we want to break the data table row handle. So we want to get data table row names, and then put it in here. The out row will be a for each loop. Go, and then going to, yeah, there you go. Okay, so essentially what we do is we get the data table handle, we'll break the data table handle, then we get the data table row names, then we execute the for each loop, and all the row names will go into the array. So we'll loop through all the array, through all the row names. Then it's gonna essentially get the table rows, and then we want to, then we break it, and then what we do is we can use the element to do equals, then we get this from the get material from collision phase index that returns an element, which is really nice, and then we can just put it in here. If these two are true, you want to do a branch, and if they are true, we can just print string. So the elements are corresponding with each other. You print, let's say there's the thingy here. Here, cat province, dog province, province big, cool province, small province, all that. See, that's printing that. So if you want, you can just stop the tutorial now and make your own thing of it. But what I'm going to do now is essentially just use a widget to make some sort of UI. That's really simple and just shows you the province. So yeah, that's that. Let's go to the UI. I already have a UI, but I'll make a new one. Widget blueprint, user widget. Open it up. This might not be, I'm not very good at making UIs, so this might not be the best form of tutorial for UIs. But I'll do it as how I would do it. Then I'll do text. Then I'll just duplicate this. And I'll just bring this here. Make this both a variable. Call this region call the little one population. Then we go into the graph. We can remove all of this to make a custom event. Call this update region. From this, we want to add an input, make it a text, and then we want to name this region name. Then we go from here. Actually, no, we get the region first. Get it. Set text. That's for that. Then we can do essentially Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Make this population, and then yep. We'll actually get an integer for this because it's going to return an integer, and then we'll make it set. I think it's to text. Yep. There we put it in here. To change this to update pop. Then we get the population, put it in here, compile, save. That's just our widget thingy. Then when it goes back to the control, and then what I did is in the beginning here, I created a widget, so I just essentially what I just did. Just delete this actually. So we'll make it original. Create. I think it's add component by class actually. Yeah. Is it not? No, apparently not. It's something else. Widget. Is it something widget? Oh, I'm so tired. Sorry. Yeah, it was widget. It was create widget, and then we just do your UI. Then we want to I just promoted this to a variable, so you have the UI reference. So make sure you do that. Promote it to reference, then you can get the UI reference. Oh, God damn it. Promote that to a variable. Call this. Then we want to add to the viewport. Yeah, it is. And then there you go. That was quite easy. Now, after the branch is true, we want to essentially just get your reference, get it, and just make sure you get the thingies. So the population. Then we want to update region. And then now, if we play this level, we'll see that there you go. It now works. Congratulations. You just essentially assigned data to it. That was this video. I'm sorry if it was kind of all over the place. I am currently recording this at 3 in the morning, but yeah. Hope you all enjoyed it. This was essentially the end of the grand strategy map beginner tutorial. I might make another one with a bigger map, and to make an actual grand strategy map later with like actual UI and stuff like that. But for now, goodbye and have a nice day.